Hey y'all, we are here. We are live.
We are live. Hey, everybody. Hello, hello. Sorry for the delay, but sometimes the technical difficulties,
Being
sometimes the
difficult.
technology
Yes.
wants to strengthen your resolve,
Is that what
right?
we're calling it? Yes.
Yeah. Technology wants to strengthen your resolve and see how badly you want to be in your purpose and get the message out there. So
Indeed.
so we have passed the test.
Yeah. Yes, indeed.
Is
Yes,
what has
indeed. We had
happened.
our first little baby storm this morning. Okay, just now.
And it is all good. It is all good.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is we always talk about, when you come through the challenges, you learn, right?
Yeah.
You
Yes.
learn. And that statement can be very painful for people. Sometimes it's painful for me because it's like there's got to be another way for you to teach me other than for me to go through this shit, right?
Yeah.
But but even in the less deep things, right? The not so deep things. So even in, technology and just having this challenge with audio, I think both you and I learned about something about our settings. I found
Yes.
something had been wanting to find for like 2 weeks. And I had no idea how to find it.
Yep.
But through this challenge, was
Here
able
we
to
are.
find it. Yeah.
All the lessons.
All the lessons. I guess let's do the introductions, right?
Yeah. That's what you're supposed to do, when you're doing a podcast or a live. Okay, you're supposed to say exactly who you are immediately, so that people know who you are. I am Marissa, a free, courageous, authentic woman, and I help high achieving Black women specifically take a breath, so that they may release the weight of the world and step into a life of radical self love, freedom, and abundance. And I do that through the power of breath work, through the power of storytelling, and through the power of coaching. So I am excited to be here with my friend Latoya, okay, in our conversation today. And yeah, go ahead, tell the people who you are.
Yes. Hello, everybody. Welcome into this space. And it's such a beautiful, sacred space where we just allow ourselves to be in the reality
Mm.
in addition to the reality we're creating. So I am Latoya, your spiritual inner power coach, guide, and practitioner. And I support the spiritually conscious entrepreneur, fempreneur, to eliminate
Yeah.
the real blocks to
Mm.
living their dream life so that they can create the cultural, financial, and spiritual legacy that they came
Mm.
on this earth to create.
Oh, come on, legacy.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. In the juiciest way possible.
Yeah,
Hold on, let me add
because
that.
that's
In the
important.
juiciest way possible because we want
That
it
is
to be pleasurable. We want it to be light. We want it to be free flowing as we move into the goddess energy that is within.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And with you saying that, it definitely helps me confirm and affirm our connection as
Mm.
friends, as sisters in this
Mm.
journey, as partners in this podcast and in on our Patreon. It definitely is something in my being that is
Mm.
around shifting the family structure from what it currently looks like, and turning it
Mm.
on its head. And that is my ultimate goal out here, to shift the family structure and allow people to create the relationships in life that they desire. Like, it doesn't have to look like anybody else. And so I am just happy to be in this work with you.
I am so honored to be in this work with you.
Yes.
um, I absolutely love that because so many of us desire to create that new paradigm.
Mhm.
And so many of us don't have that model,
Yeah.
right? It is, in fact, a new paradigm
Hmm.
for us as individuals. And although we don't have necessarily the model or many models,
Yeah.
we get to come into a space like this and create that model together,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And allow each other to be liberated,
Hmm.
right? In a way that they can choose what that
Yeah.
model looks like for them.
Yeah. When you said liberated, the first word, what, when you pause, the word that came up to me was messy. And I think we think of the word messy as something negative, as
Hmm.
something
Hmm.
like we want to steer clear of, but life is
Hmm.
messy. If you
Life is
watch,
messy.
I don't even watch the news, and the world is messy. Okay. I just scroll through my social feed and see how messy it is, how
Hmm.
stormy it
Hmm.
is right now. You know,
Hmm.
our topic is
Hmm.
around, can you stand the rain? And I I don't remember what was happening when I thought about this topic, but it is just like rain is necessary. Water, storms are necessary for our plants to grow, our seeds to grow, our harvests to grow. So although there is so much discord in the world right now, it is necessary for us to have the awareness that we need to have of what's going on around the world, right?
Mm.
Going on, and there wasn't social media really, with people talking about these things and sharing about them, then we wouldn't know that people are enslaved, are being pushed out of their homes and their
Right.
communities, and
Right.
we wouldn't know that these things are being perpetuated all around the world. Some similar things that have happened in this country are happening in other
Hmm.
colonization is happening
Hmm.
everywhere. Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
And this is not where I thought we were going with this, but I'm just saying, I know if that there were these things, like people are suffering, if there
Yeah.
weren't these stormy moments for us to
Yeah.
become more
Yeah.
aware of them, and then
Yeah.
decide if there's something that we need to do or we get to do to support. And that doesn't always mean sending money. If you can, sure. That doesn't always mean, it may mean voting, it may mean sending money, it may mean sharing a post, it may mean just talking about it openly with the people around you, it may mean making a change in your personal life of how you are treating others, how you are
Right.
treating yourself. These are all
Yeah.
radical changes that we get to make in order to contribute to the greater good of this world. But it's not until these stormy moments come that you realize, or that we are awakened to what's going on,
Right.
so
And
that we can, yeah.
yeah. And what's beautiful is that it's all interconnected, right? So though it's happening way across, it might be happening way
Mhm.
across the world or in another continent, right? It's the interconnection is we are all reflections, right?
Yeah.
So what is it within us, right? We also get to do this internal look. We also get to do, because we collectively are creating a lot of our environment.
Yeah.
What are we ignoring? What are we passing by? What have we been allowing? What have we been tolerating?
Hmm.
In our own social media feed, in our own
Yeah.
conversations, in our
Yeah.
own political, leanings. Like what have we allowed, and why have we allowed it? What have we been tolerating? What have we been tolerating around us,
Hmm.
though we were not participating? Like what? So
Yeah.
we get to really do some introspection,
Yeah.
of what can we start with within
Mm.
that can create those waves, right? That,
Hmm.
that create those energy waves.
Yeah.
Because you just never know where those waves can take us.
Yeah. I think the first thing that comes to me when you said, what can we do to start within, it's like your own self-reflection. your own reflection on what you were hearing, how you respond, how does it make you feel in your body to hear these
Mhm.
things,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
How does it
Mhm.
feel in your body to move through the world how you have been? Like, why the biggest question that is a friend of mine has been posing in a lot of our in-person chats are like, why do you believe what you believe? Start questioning, why do you
Yeah.
believe what you believe? Is it
Yeah.
because that's just how it always has been? If we're I don't even want to say dismantling. If we're shifting what our family structures or creating what our family structures are going to look like because we are tired of what's always been, then we have to look into our own belief systems.
Mhm.
Why do you believe what you believe? What is it that you actually believe? Is that your belief? Did
Yeah.
someone tell you that and you just ran with it? And really start to uproot those kind of things. And it could be, it not it could be, it could be very challenging, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And when you start uprooting those things, emotions come, the tears come, right? But this is a part of the growth and expansion process.
I
And
love that you brought that up. Yeah.
what is going on?
Thank you for the peace and blessings.
Yes.
Shaz, I think is her name. Thank you for the peace and blessings. Peace and
Yes.
blessings back to you. And thank you for coming in with us. Yeah, I love where we're going with this because whoo, it's easy to say when we're looking for the harvest.
Mhm.
Ooh, when I said that, the question came back to me. Well, what kind of harvest are you looking for?
Ooh.
And and mm, and is the harvest you're looking for the harvest that you actually want and desire?
Mhm, mhm,
Right?
mhm,
Um, priorities.
mhm,
While we're
mhm,
busy harvesting material and money, are
mhm,
we looking to harvest peace? Are we looking to
mhm,
harvest um, harmony? Are we looking to
mhm,
harvest alignment? Are we looking to
mhm.
harvest happiness and joy? Listen, y'all, happiness and joy. I'm glad to see it becoming kind of like a buzzword. Like, do you want happiness in your life? Do you want happiness? Because I feel like it's been underrated for so very long.
Yeah, I go ahead. I got few.
Right? Like,
No.
how are we looking to harvest happiness?
Mhm.
Okay, so allow me a moment first. Allow me a moment
Go for it.
because I know we have been differentiating between happiness and joy and which one is deeper and which one is a little more surface, right? I know
Mhm,
that. And I know we've
mhm,
been talking, I know in the world, we've been saying, okay, um, happiness is not really real, whatever. No, you get to be happy,
yeah.
however you define that.
Mhm, mhm,
Okay, call
mhm.
it joy, call it no. I'm not talking about the word. I'm talking about the frequency. I'm talking about
Yeah,
the feeling. I'm talking about the emotion. I'm talking about
yeah,
laughing. I'm talking about dancing. I'm talking about playing. I'm talking
yes.
about um
Fun. Yes.
fun. You know that, like deliciousness and sensuality and
Mhm.
happy. That
Yeah.
emotion. I'm
Mhm.
talking about that. And we get to have that. We
Yes.
deserve that. We are
Yes.
worthy to be
Yes.
happy. I feel like happy is this word, like with money, we kind of shine away from it. So we want to harvest wealth, we want to harvest abundance. Guess what? You get to harvest money too. It's not evil. You get
Yeah.
to harvest money too.
Yeah.
We
Well,
get to
yeah.
harvest happiness
Yeah. And it's not just a luxury. It is something that you can just have because you exist.
because you don't
And
need
I
a why.
I think it is my opinion. We are so used to suppressing our emotions, right? So
Yes,
and
yes.
usually it's around something that is difficult, something that has angered us, some sort of fear, or something that we are suppressing our emotions because we need to just get the job done. We just need to buckle down and
Survive.
work hard and survive, right? Yes, we just need to survive. And when we're suppressing our emotions that are coming up while we are just getting the job done, we are also suppressing the emotion
Mm.
of joy and happiness and
Mm.
pleasure and fun and laughter, because I feel like our body doesn't know the difference. It is like any emotion that tries to stir up right now, it has to go, because I just need to stay focused on surviving.
Right.
So,
Right.
so what we get to do is allow the anger to come up. I think we're so afraid to be angry, but we are
Yes.
actually angry because we are afraid. So
Yes.
what
Yes.
is what are we doing, right?
And
And
I feel like we're more afraid of happiness than
yes,
we are to be angry.
yes, yes, because I feel like we're used to what the anger feels like. It's easy.
Yes.
It's easy to
Yes.
go to. So something happened the other day. I'm driving on the highway and I'm in the right lane. So there's cars that come on that merge on, right? And I'm going at a hefty speed, right? But I see two cars about to come on the on ramp, and I also need to get off at the next exit. And there's not a lot of space in between. So I see these two cars come in, and I'm trying to calculate, can both of these cars come on before I need to merge over? Or do I need to slow down a little bit so that they can do I need to slow down a little bit, or do I need to speed up a little bit? I'm trying to gauge how fast I need to go. And we get closer. One car comes in front of me, but the second one is going too slow. So I'm just still driving. But now I'm like screaming, like, get on, ah, right? And I'm like, and then I finally get off the exit. I'm fine. And then I'm like, who was that? What are we doing?
Mm.
What
Mhm.
what was
Mhm.
that about? Actually, I was
Mm.
like, what is that about? Because yes, I'm from New York, and yes, I'm used to driving in the city, but I've had quite some time away from the city to not have this ragey emotion anymore.
Mm.
And not
Mhm.
just from driving or whatever, but in general, I've been working on what my anger triggers and all that kind of stuff is, right? So I'm like,
Mhm.
why am I what is happening? Why am I yelling? Because I don't even do that anymore.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm.
I've
Mm.
grown. Right. And then I thought about it. It was because I was scared. It was because I felt threatened that I may
Mm.
not be able to slow down in enough time. They may not be able to speed up in enough time. And this may cause an accident. And I
Yeah.
am scared. But the
Yeah.
first inclination for me was to yell and be
Yeah.
angry until
Mm.
I was safe. But it
Mhm.
was because my safety was being threatened and I was enraged. And then I started thinking about,
Mm.
I don't have children yet, but I started thinking about why parents may yell at their children. It's not because you're angry at them. It's because they may not understand that their safety is being compromised,
Right.
or
Right.
you may not have the words, the language in that moment to give them a lesson, because you're trying to protect them, and it may
Mhm.
come out in rage.
Mhm.
And I'm not saying that's right. But what I'm saying is there's a reason for it.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
an understanding. And if we just take a moment to understand, what am I really feeling? Am I really angry, or am I fearful in this moment? And why am I fearful
Mhm.
in this moment?
Mhm.
I think
Mhm.
that is the part that we get to explore, um, as we are looking at these rainy, stormy moments of rage or anger, and to say that they are allowed to happen as well. I was allowed to scream in the car and get upset, so that I can understand, like, what am I feeling really,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because I'm okay now. So
Yeah.
what just happened?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for me, there's a lot of fear. I used to. I'm not anymore, but I used to be terribly afraid of being happy. I
Mm.
was very afraid of being happy because I was afraid that, number one, it wasn't real. because I felt, and I realized now it's a world that I was creating around me. I felt that nothing around me was real. People were not real. People's emotions towards me were not real, and therefore
Mm,
happiness, love, joy wasn't real.
mm,
And really, um, being afraid that joy and happiness and those positive emotions weren't real gave way to the deeper fear that I can't handle being in the rain permanently, right?
mhm,
That I would be in sadness and depression and loneliness permanently.
mm,
But the fear was falling back into it, right? Because if I just stay there in my
mhm,
mind, if I just stayed there, then I was comfortable. I didn't
mm.
have to suffer the fall from happiness into loneliness or depression or
Ah,
sadness, right? So I was afraid to be happy. And
mhm,
and really that comes down to feeling unworthy, right? And
mhm,
not knowing that I can create the happiness, that I'm
mhm.
worthy of harvesting happiness, right?
Yeah.
And that it's okay. Ooh, here it is right here. Thank you. It's okay for the rain to come
Mhm.
and to learn to navigate that transition from rain to sunshine, from sunshine back to rain, right? Because
Mhm.
sometimes it's nasty, sometimes it's muddy, sometimes it's murky, sometimes it's, there's rivers flowing in the street, right? Sometimes it's, yeah, right?
Yeah, yeah,
um, and it's uncomfortable. Um,
yeah.
but learning to navigate that is the up and down of life, that
Mhm.
rain helps to define and shed light on and exalt the sunshine and the happiness and the harvest that comes after. And it's
Yeah,
and it's it's all a part of the
yeah.
same process.
Yes. And understand, like we say life has its ups and downs, and then we have this idea that there's things are positive vibes only. That is
Mm,
I'm sorry, that
mm.
is the dumbest sentence. It is not possible. Okay? It is not possible.
And
Just I mean, I think we have the luxury, us who are not farmers have the luxury of seeing the harvest, going to the grocery store, being
mm,
able to pick what it is that we desire. But
yeah,
there are times of drought. There are
yeah.
times of heavy rains, and it's overwatering and molding out some of the crops, right?
Hmm, hmm.
There are times that bugs and things eat away at it, or little rodents and animals
Yeah.
get to them. But by the time, all we know is that we have fruits and vegetables in the grocery store,
Right. Right. And
right?
be upset when we don't have our favorite ones, or
And
or
are upset.
they didn't come in too spoiled, they didn't come into not ripe, and that like we right.
We're upset by those things, but I realized, I started looking at like what is not in the grocery store today, and why is it not there? Is it because it's not in season? Because that's a thing, guys.
Right,
Certain
right,
things don't grow in certain areas if it's not in season.
right,
Surprise.
right.
Right? And is it because there's a shortage? Is it because there's something going on in whatever part of the world that these crops are being sourced from? Like
Right.
this is
Back to
really
your original point.
yes, about
Because
really.
you can be feeling like you're divorced from that drought down
Across.
there
Yes,
somewhere,
yes, but you're
but
not.
you're not.
Yeah, because you're not able to get your whatever fruits or vegetables, right?
Right,
And
right.
so I think we live this life of such disconnection that we're
Mm,
disconnection and disassociation of things that it's not happening here, so it doesn't have anything to do with me. That is not true. That
right.
is not true.
Right.
But back to what I was saying about the positive vibes only, like life is meant to have challenges and we
Yes.
grow through them. It like
Yes.
my breath work instructor and mentor, I wish I had a pen, but she's like, I have this amazing um chart to draw for you, and all she does is draws a line like this, just a wave. Because that's how life works.
Yeah.
We are on this upward trajectory. Something happens. There's like a climax. We celebrate or whatever, and then there's there's this downward piece. It's not like everything just goes bad, but there's like a, okay, now there's a new challenge, there's a new thing to move on to. And then you go to this lower part of life, and you're
Mm.
trying to figure things out. You may feel a little tired or a little stuck or whatever, and then it starts to come back up again. I mean, come back up
Mm.
again, and you celebrate, and new things happen, and then it comes back down. Like, this is how life works. There's no
Yeah.
way that we're getting through life without challenges, without storms, without any tumultuous energy or feelings or emotions. It's just
Mhm.
not
Mhm.
possible. And it
Mhm.
is
Mhm.
also not helpful to suppress those emotions, and because we end up suppressing the emotion of, like, the celebration when we're up at the
Right.
top,
Right.
right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's what's what kind of happened to me. It brings me back to a conversation that was happening um, with my husband, and he was talking about um, the ups and downs and the waves of our suicide rates.
Mm.
Um,
Ooh.
and yeah, and it, there's research and there's statistics, and there's a thought out there that, not that technology is bad, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that, but there is a thought out there, this hypothesis out there that because we're a global society and yet we're not,
Mhm,
right?
mhm,
Because if I don't like what you're saying, I can just turn it off at
mhm,
any time, right? Um, and if I'm having an internet relationship, I can. It's much easier for me to just say it in the text, "Hey, we're over," and then block you, and then never have to deal with that again.
mhm,
Whereas we didn't have that before. We actually saw each other. We
mhm,
we had the arguments. We had to work things out. I had to, we broke up and we went back to school the next day and had to see each other and had to
mhm.
navigate relationships, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Right,
yeah.
and deal with this kinds of things, and so people are in school online, people, and we don't have to deal with those things anymore, and so it could quite possibly be that we have lost we are losing the ability to be able to stand the rain,
Mhm, mhm, mhm,
right?
mhm,
Losing the ability to be able to navigate those
mhm,
waves that you're talking about, the up and
mhm,
down, and really accepting it
mhm,
as a part of life, like as
mhm.
a part of relationship building and learning what you need and what you want in an intimate relationship. A part of that is exploring and breaking up and getting in
Woo!
love and breaking up and right that
Child. Let me make
it
sure
is
my
a
little
natural
eyebrows.
part of the process, of the
Indeed,
same process
indeed.
of
Oh my God.
harvesting what you deserve.
Yes, and, like, that leads me to, we get to practice this connection in community
Mhm,
with one another. Like,
mhm,
you just you just finished saying this, like, we have technology so that it makes it very easy for us to either disassociate or to be inside, to operate in silos. And it is not um for the betterment of our to the betterment of ourselves or our communities to live like that.
right.
And as we decide to shift the way our family structure is working, the shift the way our relationships structures are going to be, shift the relationship we have with ourselves, um we need some time and space to practice. And so I
Mhm,
know you, Latoya, just put at the bottom of the screen, we have a Patreon page, community in which you can do that, where we share music, we share stories, we share our gifts of breath work and tapping and meditation, and different spiritual tools that we use to be able to process heavy emotion, to
mhm.
celebrate our joy and our the things that make us happy, to celebrate the things that we are accomplishing together in community. So definitely check out Real Power, Real Life, Real You, um, Patreon page, the Real Patreon
Mhm.
page, that is linked below. And man, when you started talking about these tense moments or what is used to grow relationships, child, y'all gonna have to come on over to Patreon because this past weekend,
Woo!
tension is necessary in relationship, and I learned it. Okay.
Here we
I
go.
learned
Ooh, I can't wait to get in there myself. I need to go
I
hear this
learned
story.
it. So yes, definitely join us when you get a chance. Take a look at the Patreon, share it with a friend, um, and jump in and practice with us.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, absolutely, absolutely. And with that, I need to say real quick, know that starting January,
Mhm.
this juiciness and goodness right here will be solely on YouTube. That is the
Mhm.
intention and the plan.
Yes.
So we're inviting you to come with us and
Yes.
grow this delicious ness, this deliciousness with us.
Yes.
Grow this
Yes.
space with us, right? So that we can elevate together
Yes.
and grow
So
together and
definitely
create what we
subscribe.
were talking about, those macro waves
Mhm.
that affects this interconnected global society.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. So
yeah,
definitely subscribe to our channel at the Real Power Real Life Real You. You can get us on YouTube. And yeah, join
yeah.
us. Join us.
Join
And
us.
any questions, anything that you would like for us to chat about over the coming months, please do share. Anything you want us to dig deeper in, anything you want to know about us. We definitely have been sharing openly and vulnerably here um, to support you, to give you permission if you feel like, yeah, I can't be talking about my business.
Mm,
But there's so much that we can gain from one another as we share our stories. So definitely let us
absolutely,
know if there's anything you would like us um, to talk about.
absolutely, absolutely. And with that, for the women in the Black and traditionally marginalized communities, we'll
Mhm.
see you over in Patreon. And
Bye, y'all.
otherwise, we will see you next week, same time, same place for more goodness. Bye,
Ashe.
everybody.
Bye.